metabolism. We hear all about it, but what does it actually mean? Well, here to break it down is nutritional expert Haylie Pomroy. Welcome, Haylie.
Thank you so much for having me.
We were saying this, that we use metabolism in a sentence like all the time, but if you asked me to define it, I'd be like, well, you know, it's hard to... So why don't we ask you to define it for us? What exactly is metabolism?
So it's all about the body's biochemistry.
Okay.
It's how you consume food and convert it to fuel, but it's also how you create structure, hair, bone, skin, nail, collagen, elastin. So it's how we use food, but it's also how we store and make our body healthy.
Interesting. Now, we do know this, that everybody has a different metabolism, right?
They do, but we can manipulate the metabolism. So there's a couple key things that I tell people. One is don't diet. For me, the word diet means did I eat today? So you want to know what your focus is.
Did I eat today?
Yes,
oh.
Absolutely. Did I eat to lose weight, run faster, jump higher, whatever it is that you want from your body, you want to use food strategically.
Okay.
So definitely there's 4 tips that I always tell people.
Okay.
One is you want to eat. The metabolism is micronutrient dependent. So you can't fast, you can't not eat, or you will slow your rate of burn. So I like to say eat within 30 minutes of waking.
Okay.
And eat every 2 to 4 hours throughout the day of nutrient-rich foods.
Okay, so what's the first thing that should go in your body though?
Well,
does that matter?
So it does matter, and it depends on what you're doing and what you want out of your body. I always say the closer you can get to either growing it yourself or patting the farmer on the back that grew it for you, like farmer's market, eating locally, you want lots of whole foods, fruits, vegetables, and lean proteins. You know, and I know everybody says that, but it's that you do it throughout the day, that you strategically nurture your metabolism. It is a metabolic process that's nutrient dependent.
Okay.
So why are some of these foods, why are they good to boost metabolism? What is it about these foods or any food that is good to boost metabolism?
Absolutely. So there's a couple really key things here. One, when we eat, we want to add lots of nutrients. So the more colorful our food is, the more micronutrients that we have to actually speed up that metabolic process. Again, it's a biochemical process in the body.
Okay, by colorful, you mean things that are grown. She doesn't mean Fruit Loops.
Or
Or gummy bears.
Those are
those
are on our obesogens list, or things that actually slow the metabolism.
Oh, okay.
So with this particularly, we have a lot of natural sugars. Our metabolism are actually fueled by complex carbohydrates as long as we can metabolize them.
Okay.
So it's how we eat so that we can actually burn and utilize those nutrients.
See sweet potatoes here, cranberries.
Lots of anti-inflammatory foods. When our body's in a state of inflammation, we actually slow our rate of burn. I see this with my Olympic athletes, my professional athletes. The quicker I can slow their inflammatory process, the better I can lay down lean muscle, and then the aspects of the body that actually burn fat for fuel. We want to be super, super efficient at burning fat.
Okay.
Inflammation is such a massive destructor out there. Okay, we also see a bunch of water here. So how does this help us kind of boost our metabolism?
So I always say dilution is the solution for pollution. So we store fat in fat-soluble toxins in fat cells. We use water, specifically spring water, because it can help maintain our pH, which allows the fat cells to be excited about releasing energy. You want half your body weight in ounces of water every day, minimally. And I know you probably drink a lot more than that.
Well, no, I mean, I try to, but so what we got here, 6 full glasses of water. I weigh about 185 pounds. So you're saying that, I think we did the calculations, or somebody here did, that this is in ounces, half of my body weight in ounces. So this is what I should be drinking.
Like 92.
And that will help kind of like keep the metabolism kind of amped up.
For sure. And when I find individuals that naturally have a high metabolism or they have a really good rate of burn, one thing that I find consistently, like we talked about earlier, is they consistently are drinking water throughout the day.
Okay.
When people have a slow metabolism and we start doing kind of our checklist, I cannot tell you how much dehydration is present.
Well, I mean, how simple is that? If there's one takeaway from this entire conversation, drink more water equals being leaner and thinner.
Yeah, and I definitely believe in spring water. It is really nutrient. Again, the metabolism is micronutrient based. And there are little tiny micronutrients found in spring water that we don't have in distilled water or even reverse osmosis water that can actually help increase your rate of burn.
Including
and again,
minerals.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is so simple.
Yep.
Okay, I
Yeah.
It's simple. It's simple. We just got to stick to it. I like it. Okay.
have a chair.
So you guys have a snack here while I ask this next question.
Yes.
I'm already drinking the water. All right. So what is really the worst thing that we can do to impede our metabolic rate?
Right, there's a couple things. One, I always say if it's free, don't buy it. And what I mean by that is things that are fat-free, sugar-free, right? Because they have a lot of obesogens or chemicals that are added to make them palatable.
True story.
true.
And what our body does is those are neurotoxins or toxins to some extent. And our body says, wait a minute, you're bringing something in that's actually bad for you. So I'm going to slow the rate of delivery, which then slows your rate of burn. So we want to make sure if it says fat-free, sugar-free, and even gluten-free. Everybody's eating gluten-free, but you need to turn it around and see what's actually in it. So many packaged gluten-free products actually have a lot of things that maybe are touted as positive for the health, but are actually slow the rate of burn, like
My
corn,
goodness.
soy.
I mean, there's so much
Absolutely.
information out there right now, and there's so many different like schools of thought, so
Right.
to speak. Right now, a lot of people, and probably for the last year or so, but right now it seems to be catching on quite a bit, is intermittent fasting.
Yes.
Now, that's where you don't eat for 12 to 16 hours at a time, or sometimes more. I have seen amazing results with so many people I know. Really, I feel it has helped them turn around their entire like sort of health kick that they've been on. What do you think of intermittent fasting?
So I'm in a little bit of a unique situation because I've been in clinical setting for over 26 years. The majority of the people that come to me truly have a slow metabolism. They really are struggling, and they've struggled. They've done several diets. So we're talking about repairing the rate of burn. Typically with fasting, it can slow your rate of burn unless it's maybe your first or second diet. But individuals that have been dieting chronically, that are under a significant amount of stress, that go for periods of time, we test all the time, it can actually elevate your level of cortisol. So I'm very careful with how individuals do fasting. If it's for religious or spiritual reasons, it doesn't seem to lower that. There seems to be a purpose around it. But when individuals, I find in our clinical settings, and there's a lot of studies that back this, when individuals go without food for a sustained period of time, it can increase stress hormones. In the short term, we can see weight loss. In the long term, we see a slowed rate of burn.
Well, I mean, like you said, I mean, I think one of the things that I take away from that for sure is that you've done, research, and the people coming to you have obviously have trouble with their metabolism. It's, if there's one big takeaway, and you've seen segments where we're talking about how great fasting is for so many different reasons, I think in many levels we got to try what works for us. In my own
Right.
experience,
It's very individual.
Fasting has been one of the best things I've ever incorporated. However, maybe not for everybody, and maybe
Right.
not for you. So I think it's important to hear it all.
Creating a healthy relationship with food, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Abstaining from it for purpose is one thing, but making sure that we're having a positive relationship with food for our children, for our women, for our men, because it is what sustains life. It's the ultimate love affair. We need to create that healthy relationship with real whole foods.
Yeah,
Yeah,
real whole
true.
foods. That's another big takeaway.
yeah,
Thank you
that's
so
very
much
good.
for being here.
Absolutely.
sharing
Thank
your
you.
information
So
here.
much.
And for more information, go to our website and make sure to visit HayliePomroy.com to grab a copy of her book, The Fast Metabolism Diet. Check it out.